Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to have a quick chat about what is going on with eBay at the moment. So there seems to be like a lot of talk about how eBay is struggling, how can it survive? So I think that's kind of what I wanted to have a bit of a discussion about. So please, feel free to jump on board. Hopefully we've got a few people in, but yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you think that eBay will be around till the end of time? Do you think its days are numbered? So my take on it at the moment, I am finding it quite frustrating at the moment. I think eBay is constantly tinkering, always things in the background. Fees are getting very, very high. A bit of dare I say, like a cash grab, but yeah, it feels quite tough at the moment. But by a long stretch, it's without a doubt the most consistent. It's been around for the longest. It's got the most traffic. It still has the most sales as well. So yeah, that's kind of like what I was going to want to have a chat about today. So have we got anyone in? Looks like they've got a few people watching, so that's always good. So yeah, don't forget to put any comments on, and also if you wouldn't mind liking the video, but only if you are liking it. So yeah, that's the thing. So if someone can let me know, make sure that there are people around, that'd be amazing. So, as I say, what is going on with eBay? Let's see if I first one then, can eBay survive? So the reason I say that is because there seems to be probably one other big player at the moment, which is, I suppose, Vinted. So Vinted in the UK is gaining strength and strength and strength. So is it that I personally don't list on there? I do buy off of it, and it does appear that a lot of, dare I say, younger people are absolutely going for Vinted over eBay. I think the demographic for eBay is still going to be the slightly older. Not older, that's probably the wrong thing. So potentially my age, a little bit younger, the late 30s to mid 50s. They seem to be the ones who still want to be using eBay, but anyone younger that appears to be fully embraced with Vinted, and that used to be Depop. That seems to have been dying off now at the moment. Poshmark, which didn't work in the UK. Got Whatnot as well, which is it has its own flaws. I think you need to be very careful if you're selling on Whatnot. I think it absolutely can work, but your cost of goods need to be incredibly low. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, definitely a bit frustrating at the moment, with eBay. I have just heard. I'll see if I can. So there was I've just seen on a Facebook group that someone reached out to Vinted to find out a little bit more about Vinted Pro. Now, others might know this already, but I'll see if I can share screen. Let's see if I can find. Right, so I've just taken a screen grab of this. I'll read it out for you. Right, so this is from support at Vinted. So this was directed at one person, and this is about when Vinted Pro is going to be rolled out. It says, Hello there. I appreciate your patience. Vinted has planned the Vinted Pro account for October 2024. However, keep in mind that this is just a plan and there is possibilities that this may not be included in this time. If you have any more questions, please visit the help centre. Sorry for inconvenience, blah, blah, blah. So that, in a nutshell, is a little bit of a, like, does it look like Vinted Pro is about to hit us? So we're at the end of August now, so it's only what, maybe 6 weeks. But obviously, that might not happen. Do you think once Vinted Pro comes along, it will actually have a bearing on eBay? I'm unsure. I really don't know. That's definitely something to. So yeah, I'm unsure about whether it's going to have a big bearing. I suppose because the whole unknown. It's like, do we know if there's any fees with Vinted Pro? Again, it's all speculation. We've got a couple of people in the show. Limelight Vintage is in. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. Right, we've got Yo-Yo's in the thing, so big up Yo-Yo. Vintage ridiculous with all the scavengers always offering more money to sellers so they cancel the order. That's a really good point. And I agree. It's not if it was a level playing field, that'd be amazing. But unfortunately, there is far too many of those people around. But yeah, that's a good point. Phil Bailey, hi Simon, good morning. And greetings from Rochester. Well, the weather here is I don't know about anyone else. Did anyone manage to get out to the boot sales today? I took one look at it and actually thought to myself, it's not going to happen today. So I binned it off. Yeah, it's hopefully, fingers crossed. So it'll be a lot better tomorrow. Glenn, morning Simon, hope you're well. Yes, I'm very, very well. Thank you very much, Glenn. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit strange with eBay at the moment. Now, I'm hoping that eBay on the eBay Live, on the event which they're holding up in Birmingham, that they're going to actually bring something to the table for dare I say, for business sellers. I think they kind of definitely need to understand that you need to they need to be supporting us a little bit more. It's all well and good. I think they've actually realized that the actual rolling out free fees for private sellers, giving them 1,000 free listings, may well have been a bit of a mistake. I'm not convinced that's actually worked for them, but hey, what do I know? So I'm really, really hoping that they're going to come to the party with something for us business sellers. Now, whether that's going to be reduced fees, I think that's unlikely. I just don't think they're going to give us free, cheaper fees. They may do, but speculation. But I think it would be nice if they done something for our shop subscription. Or maybe if they've actually decided to do something increase our free listings, that might be something. If you're a mid-tier seller, so if you've got 1,200-1,500 listings, maybe give us a few more listings. But yeah, what would you guys like to actually for eBay to do? That'd be nice. You need to have phone glued to your eyes and buy within seconds. Vintage not sustainable if you value your health. It's a really good point. I'm going to admit this now. I don't think. No, I know I haven't been on Vinted for nearly 2 weeks now. So I've changed my model yet again, which is I seem to be changing my model on a daily basis. But so I'm very much more. I'm trying to build relationships with other people. which in turn I'm trying to do more car boots. I'm trying to do more charity shops, and just trying to make some more contacts. Whereas I think there's going to be like people who will absolutely disagree, and I get that. That I'm certainly no like spring chicken. I'm not like a youngster anymore, but I do find it a struggle. Like my eyesight has deteriorated like quite dramatically. Said that like eyesight will be gone with all the sniping. Yeah, I honestly believe that, and I think it's really a bit antisocial as well. I'm not like a big fan of actually like of that. So that's why I've kind of like stepped away from the Vinted side of it. Do I think I'll go back to it? Potentially. Yeah, I probably will. If anything, if I do my sniping, if I'm looking on Vinted, I actually don't even use my phone. I actually go on to the desktop, just because I can actually make the screen that much bigger, and it's a little bit easier for me to see. But that may be like, but it's not as quick. Like I'm definitely nowhere near as quick as other people. That might well be to do with like other, like my age, and I can like not quite as quick. But who knows? Who else have got in? Got in Amber. Good morning, Amber. I presume you're actually doing some listing and photography today. Hope so. Who else we got? Resell anything? Morning, something. Yeah. Good morning. I got a question, Aaron. Do business users get more traffic? Aside saying last month, I need to change to a business account, but all I hear from people is that don't it is regret and more fees. It's a really, really good question. In my opinion, okay, it depends on how you're looking to grow your business. If you're looking to, dare I say, just do it as like a part-time and like not put all your effort into it, then I would definitely say it's probably like better to stay as a private seller, because yes, your fees are going to be less. Do I think you're going to get as much traffic? No, I don't. But also, like with a business seller, you do have the ability to actually do things like promotions. You can like do sales, you can do coupons, you can do like, there's all these like weird and wonderful things you can actually do to drive traffic to your store as well. Do I think like it financially? If you get to a certain level, I think it's you basically have to like go to a business, and I think eBay will push you at some point. So if you're suddenly like doing like a good amount of money, you're sending a good amount of items, you're gonna struggle. You need to actually like make sure that you can. So in other words, if you're like sending a lot, okay, you might as well go to the business side of it. So that would what I would do anyway. Yeah. If you use desktop, you have no chance to get deals. Way too slow. The phone. Yeah, it is that, and that's why I've actually kind of like stepped away from the whole Vinted side of it. I did get myself I don't mind admitting, I bought myself like an iPad just because of like my eyesight. I thought like if I install the app onto an iPad, so it's an iPad Pro, so it is like pretty quick. But I still struggled with this. It's still just a bit too small for me. Where I've got a flipping great massive like monitor. My monitor is like, I think it's a 32-inch monitor. It's ginormous. It's the but. So yes, I'm absolutely going to be like kind of losing out to like these youngsters who are like scrolling like kind of. So no, that's it. So if that's the case, if I'm losing out to those, I need to be thinking about other directions. I can't just rely on that. If it's not working, I need to change it to do something else. John's in. Morning, John. How are you doing? John's always a massive support in the on my videos, so thank you very much. Do appreciate it, John. Amber, what are you up to? Did some drafts yesterday, so I've done mine for today. I know it's a Saturday, I know it's the weekend, and I know you like them to work like them all week, but maybe a few photos. But hey, we've got Steve. I went direct for business account. I have several thousand listings, not closed, but music memorabilia. Yeah, I think if you're at a certain point, I think it's going to be a real struggle to actually try and keep under a certain thing. If you're trying to do it privately and you've got multiple thousands, I think they will probably like kind of get you to that they will like physically get you to like go onto a business anyway. So yeah. Kim, morning Simon and all. Listening while I list was going to be out of the boots today, but we'll go tomorrow instead. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I've kind of written off today when it comes to boot sales. I may well see if I can go out to the charity shops, but again, like it's I've got a reason about the stock over here. I think I've maybe got 60 items in the queue, I reckon, at the moment. So yeah, pretty good. So, and hopefully, fingers crossed, like a big day tomorrow, like at the car boots. Hopefully the weather kind of holds out. It's still absolutely chucking it down at the moment. But yeah, like hopefully, like it's going to be like a good one. So yeah, like good luck on the listing, Kim. But by the end, like kind of like if you stick around, let us know how many listings you managed to get up. I'm always amazed. Jay, agree that iPhone is quicker, but you can have more tabs open on desktop, more filters on different tabs, Terapeak on another screen. Yeah, that's it. So for me as well, sorry, I'm going to have a little slab. This is my little hack when it comes to like using the desktop. So yes, I can eat slower without a doubt, but that makes absolute sense that if you've got multiple tabs open, and you've got Terapeak, you can do a little bit of research. But what I always like to do is actually, if you physically like go on there, you can actually, if you've got, I think it's on an iMac, on Mac computers. I'm not sure about like Windows and that side of it, but you can right click and actually do Google search this image, and you can physically like kind of see what it is. So if you're a little bit unsure about something, you can do a real quick like kind of check on it, then go on to like Terapeak to actually like get some ideas on values. So yes, I 100% agree. That is without a doubt the fastest way of doing it. But if you've got good vision, that's amazing. If your brain is geared up for that, even better. Me personally, I prefer like the desktop way. Was West plays featured shop listing needs to be doubled, in my opinion. 15 isn't enough for £100 a month. Let's business grow. Couldn't agree more. Really couldn't. I think that is exactly spot on, and I think that's the easiest kind of like hack for eBay to actually introduce. It's I think like kind of I don't think they're doing anything on fees, but that will be at least a nice thing for the thing. Yeah, you're absolutely right. £100 a month. That's significant amounts of money. I think it was James or Luke, like one of the two, like Bonfires or Waters Clover, they were saying that more than likely what will probably happen is that eBay will introduce a slightly bigger packaging voucher, so from kind of like £10 up to £15. I hope that's not the case. Maybe that's like kind of a little bit thing. Yeah, I got 5 phones for sniping. Can't beat me. That's pretty impressive. I can't even like use 1, let alone 5. Amber, I'll be doing some tonight. Good stuff. Dave, seasons in my garden. Good morning, Dave. We got 50 Flop. Hey Simon, morning. Met you at the summit in Derby and noticed you had really stepped up your YouTube output. Has it created more traffic to your eBay store and got more subscribers on here? Has it given me more sales on eBay? No, it hasn't. And I've never really tried to push my eBay store on there. I'm trying to keep the kind of like two things are a little bit separate. I'm more than happy if anyone like sees anything and they kind of like think, just reach out to me, because I'm more than happy to. I will always do like a deal for whatever, but I'm not pushing like the YouTube content to try and get more sales. That's not what I'm doing. What I am trying to do is actually create a little bit more of a community for kind of like reselling. Now, I'm not saying that I'm kind of like perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm trying to actually like kind of like push myself and hopefully like push other people to actually do better. I don't just want to kind of just get by. I want to be in a position that I can actually physically like kind of make like a reasonable income. I think I said it on my last live there. I'm definitely not getting any younger. I'm not here to actually get like rich, but I'd like to be in a financial position to be able to like have the option of retire at a reasonable age. Like when I mean reasonable age, kind of like my early 60s. That for me is the goal. So like using like YouTube is like more of a kind of like to document how my business is growing. So realistically, I've only been like kind of taking this. What have I been? I've been full time for 2.5 years now. Since I gave up my full-time job. So yeah, it's. So in other words, I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel. I want more people to like hopefully like kind of like to grow with me as well. Not everyone wants to, and I get that. And hopefully, like sometimes it can be. I'll go for a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of like knowledge to help other people. But really, I want to kind of like try and grow the channel to, as I say, like to document like my journey. So hopefully that helps. Nathan, morning Simon, we've got a day off at the boot sale today. Yeah, we really have. Like it's feels a bit weird though. It feels like a little bit of a kind of like a cheat day. You think I'm going to I'm just sitting here. Just going back in that. Yeah, we met at Derby. So, is there anyone else who's going to be like going to the next one? I think it's next March. I do think it's a 2-day event next one. I had such a good time. I really did. I don't mind admitting. I don't know there's some naysayers out there, but I really enjoyed my time at the summit. I think it was such a good event. Did I learn anything? No. I really didn't. Did I get to meet some really lovely other people? Yeah, I really did. And that for me, it's not all about, and I do have to sometimes really reel myself in. Sometimes I'm very obsessed. I kind of there is nothing else in this world apart from eBay. eBay is king. But I've also realised that eBay is not the be all and end all of my life. I need to make sure that on this journey I enjoy my life as well as doing all the work. Do I find that a struggle? Yeah. I don't mind. Last night I was taking pictures at 11 o'clock at night. Now, what? How is that even why would you even do that? That's ridiculous. So I need to learn how to switch off a little bit more. But that kind of comes back to eBay, being a little bit of a slave to eBay. And that's another thing that sort of thing, if you don't list, and other people will say that you don't need to list every single day. Personally, if you want consistent sales every single day, you've got to list every single day. You can schedule it, you can do it so it automatically goes out, but I think you need to do it on a daily basis. That's my opinion, that's what I think, but yeah. John, not so easy to rip people off, get a job. Fair enough. So Nathan, morning Simon, we've got a day off, but yeah, I think so. Another thing I was kind of looking at this morning, and I don't know if anyone else has actually noticed this, that on my eBay, I've gone, when I actually go to my store, having a look at it, it actually looks like for some reason there's a glitch on at the moment. It looks like all my shipping prices are different, but also like the price of my items are different as well, which is really weird. And I don't quite understand what's going on. Maybe it's a case of physically like having a look to see. Funny, I think I need to actually like call up eBay to find out what's going on. But I don't know if has anyone else like noticed that? Has anyone like seen? If let me see, I wonder if it's like the desktop and it's not the. Let's have a look at. I'm just scrolling through my phone at the moment, just seeing if the prices, because I set my prices at like a certain point, so I know they all end in the same kind of amount. But like it's really weird. It was like, and I normally charge £3.97 for my shipping, but it was actually at £4.76. Really strange. No, the app seems like it's absolutely fine. So all the prices look okay. But I didn't know whether that had some bearing on being a little bit kind of being. I lost my train of thought there. No, I think it may well be like kind of like, I don't know what's going on with my listings, but it might be the desktop. So that's going to be something I need to have a look at. Steve Jones Simon is 100%. To get the exposure from eBay, you need to like feed the algorithm. List every day, and your items will appear at the top or close to the top of the listings. That's my take on it. I think you also do need to potentially promote as well. So I do promote all my listings, which again is a little bit of like mail back from burnout. She just had a video and I think the title was is it just another money grab for eBay? It does appear that they're trying to push more and more fees onto us, but there is a really easy thing. If we sell more items, it doesn't become as painful, but we need to sell those items. So that's like the slightly harder one to do. What else have we got on there? Do you see Vinted taking over? So that was another kind of like thing that I was going to like just like bring up. Do we think that potentially Vinted as a platform will grow to the point where it actually like is more popular than eBay? It's a question. I haven't seen personally any other platform getting even remotely close to eBay. Now, I don't think that the Vinted is still, I wouldn't say it's close, but it's probably the best like kind of like shot that another company has actually given. Now, I know it feels like they're fundamentally just doing clothing at the moment, whereas like eBay, you can sell anything, literally everything, anything. So I think it's definitely like something to look at. Do I think Vinted's going to take over? I don't think so. I still like have confidence that eBay will. eBay is an absolute juggernaut, and that's not to say that big corporations haven't made like wrong decisions and actually like kind of like lost the way. If you look at I think Blockbuster videos back in the day, like, so if you're any kind of like certain age, like kind of like trying to remember to actually going down to the video shop to actually choose a video to like a film to watch, like Blockbuster was the GOAT. That was like an absolute monster of a company, and no one would have actually said that that company would go under. But then I think they got offered like shares in Netflix, but they actually decided like to say no one's going to want on demand. And then like look at that, like, so I don't think it's like impossible for other companies like including eBay to go under, but I think it's very unlikely. I do think there's some smart people actually in eBay, and I think they do hold their cards to their chest very much. Right, the chat's just skipped a little bit. Right, Martin, good morning, Simon. Yes, I've noticed more on my business seller account that the postal options also look different to before. It looks harder to change postal options. Yeah, I've not looked at that one actually. Yeah, I definitely need to have a look at that side of it. I personally sell, I send all my items through Packlink, so I'm still doing that. And I know that eBay are trying to phase it out, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. So yeah, be nice to actually have a look at that one. That'd be interesting. Nathan, with clothing and shoes, do you have to wash everything to source, or is it only really need to? No, there is absolutely a policy that eBay states that if you've got an item of clothing, that has to be like physically washed and cleaned prior to actually going out. So I've got a, I'll see if I can find. I'm just going on to there. There's a wording that I've actually put in. So there's a wording that I put into every single listing. It says all clothing items showcased here are in accordance with eBay's cleaning policies. We're committed to ethical and compliant reselling practices. So that's what I've actually put onto my one. So yes, you absolutely need to be cleaning. New with tags, you don't need to. On shoes, if I don't go, that a majority of my shoes, they will go through the washing machine. If they don't go through the washing machine, they will be hand cleaned. Sometimes they don't need very much, so it'll be a little bit wash over. But yeah, I pretty much so how I work it out. So the process is when my items come into my house. So if I've gone out to the charity shop or the boot sale or whatever, comes into the house. First and foremost, what I'll do is I'll put it onto here and I'll give it a quick inspection just to make sure I've not missed anything. I've not missed any holes or rips or anything that's going to be discarded. Then what I will do is they will then start to go into the kitchen with the washing machine. That will be then washed. I personally do a really quick wash. It's kind of 45 minutes for a wash. So I don't spend a long time on that side of it. Once that's done, in the summertime when we've got the nicer weather, absolutely, that will go straight outside. And usually it can be dry within an hour, something like that. So as long as you've got nice weather. If it's a case of the weather is not great, into the tumble dryer, or I've got one of these airers, which is it's an enclosed heated airer. They will then go into there to actually, I think, and it will probably take a few hours, 2 to 3 hours to actually clean it. But then once that's all done, it will then go onto here, and this is a bit of flat lay. Sorry, it's a stacking system. So in other words, what I do is I will kind of put one item, put the next one on there, make sure it's as flat as possible, and then you've got stack. So the more you've actually got, the more it will pressurize it down to compress it to try and get as much as the wrinkles out of it. So do I iron anything? Not on your nearly. No, I really don't. I don't steam, I don't iron, I don't do any of that. I purely and simply will use kind of the compression one. Is it perfect? Am I going to get crisp, kind of looking thing? No, I'm not. But is it good enough for me personally? Weighing up the pros and cons of actually taking the time to iron it, to steam it. For me, no. It's a better way of doing it this way. I got the advice from Tech & Sports. That's how he always used to do it. The difference with him is that he used to have I think he was saying that he used to have piles 6 foot high. If you could imagine clothing 6 foot high, how much pressure that's going to put down on there. So yeah, that's what I do. So yes, definitely I can make sure everything gets cleaned, washed, and then you can actually just get it into your process. Yeah. If Vinted launches Vinted Pro, which I believe they won't, that's interesting. That really is interesting. It will be flooded the sellers. Eventually, platform will die out because Search sucks if you don't search newly listed. That's really interesting. It could work. Yeah, I'm certainly not going to disagree with you. How long have we been saying that, like, a Vinted Pro is going to be coming? They've been talking about it for probably a year now, and so what I kind of like put on about kind of the I think it was a message from Vinted to say that potentially October. I take that with absolutely a pinch of salt. Who knows? Who knows what that's going to actually be? But we will see. Alex, well, Simon, do you ever encounter hostility at the charity shops? Doing reselling, I find some people have no issue, are really nice, but certain shop staff seem to really hate resellers. Yeah, absolutely. I have always, my policy and the way I try to conduct my business is honesty. I'm always like, kind of like, if someone asks me what I do, I'm absolutely I've had a few comments to say that in my videos I'm a little bit like kind of like too honest. If someone asks me what I'm going to do there, like, and if sometimes I need to like engage that and not that, because sometimes I actually do speak before I even think about it. But does it worry me that if people like think that I'm doing something wrong? And are they hostile? I think I'm old enough and like kind of like and ugly enough to like. I don't care. I really don't. There are always going to be like people who don't like what you do. I think I kind of said that I was a car salesman for nearly 20 years. We were basically hated just below a estate agent. I think estate agents were hated. I think I had like 20 years of like kind of like being known as like Del Boy. And I think that kind of environment, like, it hardens you up. Like you just have to. The thing is, like, it's one of those like it's something that like people's opinions. It's their opinions. That's fine. Like, it really isn't going to like kind of like. It's not going to break me. It's not going to like hurt me. It's their opinion, and they're absolutely entitled to their opinion, and that's fine. As long as I feel I'm being a good person, I'm doing everything I possibly can to look after. I'm 100% like all about like making sure I look after like other people, making sure that like kind of like if I go into, I've got multiple charities and charity shops that look after me like you would not believe. Like, they are some of the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. Are there like some managers who absolutely think I'm the scum of the earth? Yeah, there is. That's their opinion. That's fine. And I just don't like it. I don't worry about it too much. I think if you start worrying about stuff, look, it's when I was selling cars. Like, there was people who think I was like basically a cretin. Like, I'd be selling a car for £40,000, like, for a car, and like manufacturing costs might have been like £4,000. Like, it's just reselling. It's the same as. So sometimes people don't like the idea of that. So. There will be another Depop. Potentially, yeah, that Vinted could go that way. I think ideally, like, what will happen is that that eBay will embrace the younger generation. I think if they look to like update the app, make that a lot more user friendly, because let's face it, like kind of like filling out all those blooming item specifics like it's a rubbish way of actually doing it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they will understand that they need to like move with the times. Martin, I'll say one thing about Vinted. I also sourced there, had to return 2 items. I had to jump through hoops of fire to get the right refunds, such as 5 photos and item packaging. Yeah, I've had that as well. I've actually had some. I don't think, touch wood, I've had no real issues with eBay. The nice thing with eBay is, and this is what they do very, very well. Not perfectly, but I think they do very well, is their customer service. eBay's customer service Worst case scenario, if you're really having like an awful time, you can't get in there, you just don't know what to do, you have the ability to make a phone call to eBay, and they will actually they at least listen to you. You can physically talk to someone. Are they going to be able to resolve it like there and then? Who knows? But at least with Vinted, oh my word, it's an absolute like drama. You're not even going to be able to like get through to them. So yeah, I've definitely had issues with Vinted on that side of it. Again, if they want to grow, they really need to like sort out their customer service, because it is shocking. Also, long chat messages with the reps to get their refunds. I'll be far more careful there. Yeah, that's exactly what we were saying. John, lots of eBay business resellers already listed on Vinted. Yep, that's exactly it. There's lots and lots and lots of people who are just cross-listing. They're actually getting involved with the Vinted side of it, and I have no issue with them doing that at all. Is it something that I do? No, it's not. I still am 100% eBay. One of the main reasons for me, I'm tied in. I don't mind admitting it. I actually signed a contract to say like an exclusivity, so I'm not allowed to sell anywhere else. But that being said, I probably wouldn't have even if I hadn't sold that, I probably wouldn't go on to it. If I was going to be selling on Vinted, the only time I would do it, I would keep them completely separate. I wouldn't be cross-listing. I wouldn't be selling the same items. I would have one set of like stock for Vinted, one stock for eBay, and not kind of like mix them together. Me personally, but I also know other people who do very well that do that. But it amazes me how people don't understand that everywhere in life you'll find companies that buy for a lower price, sell for a higher price, your food shop, your petrol, etc. Yeah, it's exactly right. It's like it's the way of the world. Like it's always been. I think it's one of the oldest kind of professions on the planet, which is basically you buy like one item at a price and then you sell it at a higher price. Comes into like supply and demand on that side of it. It is bizarre, but I always I'm a firm believer. Don't be afraid of actually like kind of like what you do. Don't be afraid of actually telling people what you do. I have had more positivity than negative, if that makes sense. Like it's opened more doors for me, letting people know what I do, than it has closed doors. So yes, you're absolutely going to get people who don't like it, but if you can actually like let people know what you do, then they can go, oh, well, I've got like 10,000 Berghaus downfield jackets in my garage. Like I've just closed a store. Do you want to come and have a look at them? So like, if you'd never like spoken to them and never let them know what it is, you're never like that. You won't have that opportunity. So embrace what you do. Like don't be like kind of like embarrassed. Like it's a great profession. Is it hard work? Bloody hell, yeah, it's crazy hard work. But what would I rather be doing? Like as Amber said, like Amber still works like incredibly hard. She's got a full-time job. I remember like when I was like in full-time employment and doing this as well. That's next level like hard work. It really is. And trying to like give yourself any like time for yourself, yeah, that's really, really difficult. Aaron, how does Vinted moderate bots fakes? Certain times of day is flooded with them. Oh my God, that used to wind me up. Sorry, a bit dry. The amount of fakes on Vinted or bots, like kind of like fake accounts, and I suppose if you're constantly on it and you're like absolutely like going for it, you do pick up. You know what to look for. I think, but honestly, like if you're even if you're just buying for your own like kind of like personal like and you don't do this for a living, how awful is that there's so many fakes and so many like dodgy accounts. Like, just frustrating. It really is. I think it's like that's definitely something that the Vinted need to look at without a doubt. It seems like I'm like gone back to like kind of like championing eBay and like bashing Vinted again. I'm definitely not bashing either. I just think it's like an interesting thing to think, but that makes like that's definitely one that kind of annoys me. John, eBay needs to do something about items submitted far too long-winded. Yeah, so I don't want to kind of like get all miserable about that. Oh my god! For me, I've got to a point where it's not as bad because I've got, I think, about 1,500 items in my store now. So when I actually am doing my listings, instead of creating a whole new template or a whole new item, I will literally just go back to a very similar item that I've got in my store and sell similar for that. Pretty much all of the item specifics will already have been like filled out. So all I need to do is change the title slightly, maybe like change color, change the kind of sizing, like some little tweaks, but the kind of the general bits and pieces I shouldn't need to touch. So once you've got to that kind of thing, it becomes a little bit easier. But I still think it's awful. I really do. You look at like Vinted and other like platforms, how much streamlined it is. I definitely think it's a better it's definitely a better one to like have a look at. And eBay, hopefully they will look at that. I'm trying to remember. I saw someone posted the other day about how many people now buy with using their mobile phone. I think it used to be something like 20% on their phone, 80% on desktop, and I think that's pretty much flip-flopped. And I think it's now like 80% on their phone, 20% on desktop. So it's a big shift. So you need to be like bearing in mind that may be like your pictures need to be like really clear so it can be seen on actually on a mobile device. So we got Kicklux. Vinted has item verification. Vinted has item verification. Is that like? I don't know about that one. Is that similar to? Is it like guaranteed, like kind of like authenticity? I'm not sure. But yeah. What else we got? So, is there anything else like going on with eBay at the moment? I don't think so. I do think, like, if you didn't know, that makes sense. Vinted item verification for legit checkers. Yeah, that's really good actually. If they can integrate. My only slight concern about that is it's still very easy to like. Some of these legit check companies have been known to get it wrong. I think StockX. I think they like kind of got it wrong a few times, and I think they've been taken to court or something. But I do think it gives the buyer and seller confidence to know that if they're selling something, it's going to be like verified and it's going to be checked, all that sort of it. So yeah, I definitely think that's a really good one to actually like introduce. I think it's a good thing that so I don't sell vast amounts of like kind of high-end trainers, but just come to only like items over £100. Yeah, that makes common sense, it really does. So yeah, it's I suppose in a nutshell, I still think that eBay is king. I think it's going to remain king. I think it absolutely needs to change some bits and pieces to like really push itself forward. I think it needs to like get a younger demographic, like get the youngsters involved in it. I don't think like there's any youngster who will like fundamentally even like use like eBay. It's all Vinted at the moment. So if they can like work out, I know they're doing a lot of eBay are trying to push advertising onto it for its younger like demographic, but they're also like kind of like I think they're doing like Love Island and like kind of like TV programs like that. I think they still need to do more. I think it comes into the user interface. I think that's one of the key things. eBay don't help business sellers at all. They only help private, which is unfair. Yeah, I think there's a lot of us actually feel kind of like a little bit, I suppose the term's let down. Like you put your heart and soul into the platform. You do like try to do like the very best you can. You become top rated seller. You offer free returns. You actually like reply to like everyone's questions as soon as possible. You send out offers. You do coupons. You do their promotions. You do everything, and then they actually go like, by the way, we're going to give private sellers like better like deal than you're getting. Feels a little bit of like a kick in the teeth. So when I go up to, and I'm definitely going up to the eBay Open up in Birmingham next month, I think it is. So I'm definitely going to go up there. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of others. Like I'm sure they will do questions and answers. I will absolutely be more than happy to ask some difficult questions. Whether they will answer it, whether they have any answers at all, who knows? But yeah, I'm definitely like, I think we all know that if anyone else is going, I think that is going to be a key thing. We need to like basically bombard them and make sure that they actually physically kind of like know that we're not particularly happy. I think I think they do realise that, but they need to like kind of bring something to the table. Another one. Right, morning Simon and all. Just been to one of our TK Maxx stores and picked up some clothes from 50p and under, £5. Don't know anything about clothing, but this is a way to learn not to spend too much. Morning Simon and all. Just been to one of our TK Maxx stores and picked up some clothes for under £5. Don't know anything about. Yeah, right. So, like for me personally, I think that as long as you can get like the items at a cheap enough like value, I would always say that double check on eBay what they're physically selling for. Whether it's like eBay, or you can actually have a look at Vinted. Like that's hard to actually work out what the value is, but I would always like kind of like just make sure when you're buying anything, you know that it will actually sell and you're going to make a profit. What you don't want to do is actually spend money, even if it is £5, like under £5. You don't want to waste money because, like, if that £5 you can't sell them, they're worthless. It's absolutely pointless. But I actually think that if you can pick up some really good items, I think the TK Maxx model. It's really good. Like, don't tell too many people because we don't want everyone knowing about it. So it's not like people are sending out YouTube videos about like doing it. Yeah, that might be me. Yes, I was a little bit frustrated. I was actually editing my TK Maxx video, and then I had a notification that George Ross had just released one. So there's me going, yeah, it's beaten me to it. So, but yeah, it's one thing. Do I think that the TK Maxx model is amazing? No, I don't, because I think majority of the year the values are going to be far too high. Like I looked at some Ralph Lauren shirts, lovely shirts, really nice like shirts. But even in the discounted side, they were like £50. Whereas I know that I could probably get on eBay brand new with tags, it might be 60 odd. So that kind of investment, like once you've paid for like all your fees, your postage, your packing, your VAT, all that side of it, you're going to make no money whatsoever. So it only works out a good deal if you can buy it low enough, and kind of like you can sell it at like a good amount as well. So, but like honestly, like good luck. If you can get a load of items like for 50p each, the worst case scenario, like with something like that, you could like you're at 50p each, you're not going to lose out. So even if you went down to a car boot, you could actually sell those for like probably a couple of pound each. If they're new with tags, a couple of pound each, and you're kind of tripling your money, like kind of like instantly. So I don't think you'll have any issues with that at all. John, Vinted, do not pay sellers until buyers receive an accepted item. Yeah, which is kind of makes sense. I get it, but honestly, how good have we got it with eBay? The buyer has to send you the money there and then. So even before you've even physically like kind of sent the item, you can have the money in your bank account before it even like leaves your door. That's amazing. I still think that's like a brilliant one. I watched your latest video. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't use Vinted, and yes, thank you. We'll do that. Yeah, no, honestly, that's amazing. Yeah, I think like kind of like the whole eBay, like when it comes to kind of like the fees and that side of it, like when it comes to the money, like them paying you out, I used to be on a weekly payout, which was every Tuesday, and it's nice to see like a big chunk of money like come in. However, I wasn't as comfortable of actually like if there was an issue with eBay for any reason, they can stop your payments. What I didn't want to do is actually have potentially like a few £1,000s that they were holding on to. Whereas if I kind of like now I do a daily payout, worst case scenario, it may be a couple of days. So it may be a few £100s as opposed to like multiple thousands. What else we got? John, hey Simon, do you use any kind of markdown strategy to get rid of like stale stock, like reduce items 10% each month until sales? Yeah, I do try to do that. Am I as religious like at doing it? It's a little bit of a failing. I do need to like absolutely get better, but the idea for me is yes, like markdown strategies are incredibly important. What you don't want to do is actually have items still in your store. Kind of like I've got a policy that I don't want it in my store more than a year. The actual kind of I think it's around about like the 8 months is like the maximum I've got at the moment. And what I will try to do is actually pretty much exactly what you said, mark it down. So usually on the first markdown will be normally about like the 120 day mark. I'll probably reduce that down by maybe 20%. And then 140 days, that will go down to 30%. And if it's like more than, I think it's like, I don't remember exactly what I do, like 160 days, I'll do it like 40%. Once that's been completed, if it's still not selling, I will then start to like look to do things like put them onto auction. So like change the listing, end the item, and then actually sell similar, but on an auction. Do that for a week, see how much I clear of that one. Do that again for the next week. Try and like kind of like reduce it a little bit more. So starting price maybe like £4.99 plus shipping, and then the last one will be 99p plus shipping. If it hasn't sold by then, at that point, that's when normally I would do a big cull and I'll actually physically take it out of my whole store, whether that's going to be donated, whether I take it down to a boot sale, or if I do it to cash to close. That would be like normally what I do. But yes, it's important to actually like have like a strategy to like get rid of it. What you don't want to do is actually have so many items in your store that are basically just slowing the traffic down, because I do believe that is what happens. The more items you have are just stagnant, the less like on traffic that eBay pushes you. So right, where are we? We have been going for nearly an hour. Blimey, looks like there's 64 people in the watching at the moment. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. That may well be that people aren't at the boot sale today. So yeah, that could well be like part of it. If you haven't, if I can ask you like kind of like ever so nicely to do me a favor and actually like leave a like. I think it does help. As I've already said, I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to like put as much effort into the channels I possibly can. I'm trying to put as much effort into my eBay store as well. But there's another question just come in. Nearly pipped me to the post. I'm nearly done now. But Amber's just saying, how often do you do a stock take? That's a great question. Nowhere near as often as I should do. I would admit that. Probably, like, if I'm going to be truthful, probably once per year. And that's, I would say, usually that's to do with if I've actually can't find something. If I know that it's around and I've not made a mistake, if I know it's somewhere, I may well like do a lot of stock take, but it's definitely not that often. And it's definitely something I would say that is a good idea, because I guarantee, I know for a fact there's going to be a good amount of items in my stock system that actually are not even listed. It may well have dropped off, or it might have actually sold and then I didn't get paid for and I've not relisted it. So I guarantee there's I wouldn't be surprised, in 1,500 items I might have like 40 to 50 items that are not listed, if not more than that as well. So yeah, that's definitely something to bear in mind. So I think I'm going to call it there for the video. I'm doing just over an hour now, so thank you all very, very much for like tuning in. I'm probably gonna I'm gonna hit the car boot tomorrow, so I'll try and like get a car boot video out in a few days. But have a great rest of the weekend. Have a lovely Saturday. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, I'm more than happy to answer anything you are not sure about. If it's not in the chat, ping it over to me. You can get me on Instagram, or you can get me on kind of like my YouTube channel. But again, thank you very much, okay, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.